Hello and welcome to another battle report where we try and learn to be a better gamer. As you can see, I'm up against Logic, my coach. We're discovering or at least I'm discovering the Beastmen versus Ogre Kingdom matchup. I'll be doing a few replays back to back. And this is the first one where I take the build that I thought would be best based on reading unit cards, a little bit of practice here and there, and mostly just trying common sense. So I want to do some skirmishing right off the bat. We should be focusing one, not both. I am pushing them back, which is good. Fury's coming in to try and go on the lead belchers, as you can see. While the rest of my melee comes in to fight. Lots of minotaurs with grave weapons, because most of what they have is of course large. Looks like I'm gonna hit a bit of a Traderkin here to soften up everything. And there everything gets engaged. Well, everything. The first engagement happens. Some good routed. Try to get down the lead belchers first, because they're a big threat. At least they are in most matchup. I don't think they're actually that big of a threat against Beastmen. But still, there's easy pickings. We have some nice Minotaur action, but a lot of Nobblers are actually taking a lot of shots, so it's not that cost efficient. This is a bit better. Nobbles already routed here. Probably should have great weapon Minotaurs on there. As you can see here, they're fighting Nobblers. My servitors are actually large, so that's not too bad, but it's just 3 on 1, which isn't bad. It isn't good because they're kind of squishy. They pack a punch, but they really can't take a whole lot. I'm trying to grind on this blob as well. As you can see again, we're outnumbered like almost everywhere, which isn't that good. Man repairs are good, but slow to come into the field, sadly. Probably a lot better to have these fighting alongside great weapons. Overall, the balance of power is still looking good, but if I look this fight, I don't think it's going all that well, because a lot is starting to get worn down. These are also not engaging very cost-effective targets. I mean, they'll surely win, but they'll take some leadership damage, some actual damage, and worst of all, they'll start getting fatigued. Which means once they get to their actual targets that they're good at, they're also less effective. Still keeping some pressure up here, don't want them to shoot freely. As you can see, a lot of my forces are very beaten up. These are chasing Cerberus, which isn't all that good a target for them. And now you can see this blob of his is still intact and everything of mine is starting to wear down except Thorax. Even Thorax can't hold on forever, especially since he doesn't have all of his abilities. As you can imagine, this will not be a recoverable state. So let's fast forward this a bit. He still has units everywhere he can take in, but he already is overpowering me here. So let's load up the next replay. But before we do that, let's take a look at the value. This is bad, this is good. This is, as you can see, not that great. None of them paid for themselves. These didn't pay for themselves. Nothing paid for itself, basically. And triple harp is a bit overkill. I'm used to seeing ogres with more range, but he didn't bring that. Well, these are ranged, but obviously those aren't a good target for harpies. Now, going to the next replay, we can see we changed the build up a bit. We talked about it going wider and cutting the throwing axis because they don't really have that many great targets. He's using the same build, so I can test the difference, of course. And we shall see how this goes. On the approach now. Pull these away so they don't get hit at right away. Better have my chaff being targeted. You hear a lot of gunpowder, some harpies die, only 5 of them though. Some more fall down to the sky as we try and rush on him. This one is mostly a diversion, don't want to land too early or they'll get surrounded and plowed down like really fast. Setting up the pieces. Front line is engaging, so this one is actually a bit late. Because these won't win, of course, but their main job is to keep the rest busy. So, talking about rest, here comes the rest. Limit the great weapons. These should be moving up as well. And as you can see here, the Minotaurs supported by the Ungors and Toryx will have a much better time tanking Nobblers as well as having the Minotaurs take less damage. This is a bit of a bad engagement. So the ranged moves up. Sadly, I didn't get the Centaurs on a great target here. And that means he can go onto my Ogre Raiders. So I noticed that, and I'm trying to pull out my cavalry. So I had to sneeze there for a second, so I'm trying to make sure the Sabertusks get engaged so the Raiders can shoot freely again. But overall, the Spearmen backed up by Minotaurs now are doing a much better job. They don't die as fast, which means they were alive longer to take stuff down. Also was able to get Toryx onto his Lead Belchers, so they are neutralized. And then here the Harpies engage the Sabertusks together with the Brave Shaman, so we can move out of it. Actually not sure what wins one-on-one, a Sabertusk or Centaur. Obviously in this case the Centaurs were already damaged, so that's not a fair comparison. That's something I might want to test later. So, see some beautiful Minotaur action. Smacking Sabertusks. Some Nobblers. Here the Lead Belchers are running away, so I figured Toryx can slap up his lord a bit, together with the great weapons. A bit of spear support, as well as Ogre Raiders, who were now freed from the Sabertusks. Always be looking around the battlefield. And here it's starting to devolve into blob fighting. But he doesn't have much damaging spells, it does not look like, so that's not a bad situation. The Lead Belchers were back online, so Toryx is going to chase those. He's also dragging a hunter with him, which is nice. 64. Hunters are a bit faster than Toryx, good to know. But when he is moving out there, I can just move along with him. Now I get the great weapons on the hunter. Was trying to go for the lord, but the hunter is a good target as well. And those were great weapons can 1v1 them, so that's nice. Chasing off units here and there. The scary ones. Will he get a Troll Gods in time? He does. Will that help his morale? Not on time. Trying to get Torx back because he's getting hunted down. The lead belchers are being escorted by harpies. They're shattered, so I could pull them back, but I have other priorities first. As you can see, trying to snipe his lord now. Moving that pesky cut sting. They're chasing off the saber tusks. The saber tusks aren't doing anything because Logic is, I would confidently say, a lot better than me, but even he can't do everything at once. What's this spell? Oh, dismember. That's the army ability. Slowing everything down. That's fine. Most of it is on the hunter already. And his lord breaks afterwards. There's a left flank. Strong left flank from him coming back. I'm pulling everything back together as well. First trying to see if I can get this hunter away. Taking some shots, but he's also in his press body now. Nice barrel roll. I'm getting my troops together here, because I saw his left flank was getting back, but now his right flank or his back flank is coming at me as well. And once again, they get onto my Ogre raiders. So I need to solve that, so I'm getting some spears back to engage those. Stuff is shattering here, which is nice. Now I want to get on those hunters again. I'm also trying to protect the Ogre raiders. Those ones, once the saber tusks are nibbling on their heels, they can't really shoot their bows. Yeah, they are pretty large actually. So I'm back here, pushing him off the map pretty comfortably. A lot of the grey weapons still alive. A lot of fat troll gods. But there's also a lot of damage coming his way. And he's down to his 3 big characters and basically not much else. Which is also translated in the Battles of Power. So let's take some close-ups just for the fun of it. All these bloody fighters. Trying to reinforce here a bit. Not sure if that's the best decision actually. I'm chasing his lord, that's what I was doing. That could have been splintering off a bit better. Traitor kinging his big units that are left. And that's another nice victory. I should say a victory with a different army. Now, once we look at the armor value, the damage value here, we can see it's a lot higher. Thorax, a little less on him, but that's fine. But the big surprise for me was this. I had 3 great weapons last time, and they had like what, 400, 500, 700. Now I have 2, but they were backed up by all these spearmen. And now they have, this one has more than double paid for itself, this one getting close to that. Yeah, didn't really macro the centaurs well enough, so they didn't do as well as they could. But yeah, the big value was here, so that's all I needed. Now in this third and final match we did, we took the same army from my side, but he switched up a bit, seeing if I could still deal with that. The big difference is instead of the 2 hunters, he has the pistol guys who are also good in melee once they start getting down, and man-eaters with great weapons, which certainly pack a punch. So roughly the same idea as last time. Only this time I'm saving some centaurs to protect my Ogre raider from the start. Because that's their true purpose, not diving in on targets they can't actually kill. So here are the shooty boys. And many of the great weapons which have a lot of damage and extra bonus versus large. I'm first engaging and then we'll be moving up. Making sure his Civitas can't threaten my back line, shooting at their biggest threats, and then everything coming together in a big clash in the middle. Oh, that's actually a big debuff on pretty much everything. Defense, melee attack, accuracy, and speed. Oof. That's nasty. But here comes my Brave Shaman, and that will also be casting a big spell on his big blob. He's on foot, by the way, so he's cheaper. He doesn't have to run around all that much. RP's dying, but they did their job in keeping at least his shooty boys occupied for some time. The Powder Guts, as they're called. Now here goes the big Trader King. It's not. Okay, they did Trader King there. Ogre Bulls got pulled back because they were taking a bit of a beating, and the mint of great weapons are doing okay against. Fairly even, I would say. Microing the Ogre Raiders so they don't die for nothing. Sneaky Nobler Trappers in the back. That's all fine. Guess Centaurs do not win from Saber Tusks. Maybe it was 2-1, not sure. Keeping everything busy. A pretty decent spell, did not know that. What else does he have? Flock of Doom for low mana. Yeah, okay. Is this spell going to be... not sure. As you can see, his big units have been almost all defeated, ground down quite nicely. This one is chasing some leftover Centaurs, so we won't be helping much in another part of the battle. He's probably trying to save some units and disrupting the Ogre Raiders. But that just means the Minotaur of great weapons can come on him. Ah, there was a Flock of Doom, right. I do believe, and now Torix is in his backline. Shaman as well. Probably not the best place for him, but Prince of Magic is starting to get low, so might as well have him help out a bit now. Freeing up the Ogre Raiders. Lord is wobbling away. There's a big Trader King again. So this does look a lot more close than the previous one. But a nice route, chain route there. Frees up a lot for me. Oh, that's... ouch. That's sad. Even when I'm the one doing it to him. Now, here we have our OK blob. Not a whole lot left, but still better than what he has. It's casting again, probably that debuff spell. Oh, Flock of Doom actually. Overcasted, looks like. But let's just watch the Minotaurs go to town. The Brave Shaman getting knocked around. But everyone's army is pretty much in tatters. I was looking, no one has much left. Why is the power still equal? That's because we both have equally less. Equally few? Equally few. But I still have some range support. Some of his units are all the way on the other side of the map. Thorax of Brass Body is doing very well, soaking up damage. Another big Traderkin, which should really be, which I learned later, overcasting is usually better. Angry Bug, but I didn't have the wins actually at this time, so here it wasn't a mistake, but throughout the match, if you have big blobs, that's usually when you want to do the cast, not too early. But here my blob proved to be blobbier than his. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. I was blobbier. And stuff gets a rotten. Bunch of scaredy cats, yes, but that's your army, not mine. Even though Beastmen are not really known for their great leadership. They did prevail here. As you can see, these guys, the powder gods, very tanky, holding up very long. But even for them, it's almost the end of the line. Spears poking their rears, great weapons all over the place. Minotaurs with shields, though they don't have the body versus large, still pack quite a punch. 110 weapon strength is not nothing. A bit more now with Blood Greed. And most of it is armor piercing. They don't have greatest armor, but still not bad. And that's the third match won as well. Let's take a look, go through the value a bit. Decent value there, better than last time. Still, this one almost paid for itself, this is more than paid for itself. These now paid for themselves a lot better. And these certainly did. So overall, I hope this was useful in learning a bit about Beastmen versus Ogre Kingdoms match. I sure learned a lot, and I hope to see you in the next battle report.